Okay, here we go, part 2. We've scheduled our Collaborate session, we've opened up our Collaborate session, and this is what it's going to look like when you first get in there. It's going to be kind of blank. It'll say room empty if you're the first one. It may note you have a couple students. First place to go to get functional here is this purple tab on the bottom right hand side of the screen. Click on that tab and you'll see it'll open up. It opens up kind of default on the chat, but the first thing we want to do is go in there and click on the settings wheel a little bit to the right, just before the purple line and X, and then that'll open up our settings. You can set up your camera and microphone. It's a good thing to do the first thing. Just make sure everything's working. You can see on my screen that it sounds great. We don't have the control over setting it like we did. You can see how it looks like it's maxing out on the right hand side. Hopefully it doesn't distort the audio in either the recording or the session. So I'm going to click on yes, it's working. The camera there, you can see that the camera is working also, so I'm going to click on that. Yes, it's working. And from there we're going to check the other things. The speaker volume and microphone volume, I would just leave them as they are. That hasn't really helped much adjusting those and trying to work with those like the other older version would do. The other things you might want to look at down here, really quick look at the notification settings. Get your preferences for those. I think the one thing that you want to look at down here maybe is the closed captioning. But I don't think we really have to worry about the closed captioning. Usually that's a special thing that's done by another department to get everything set up for that. Last one down here is the session settings, and a couple important things on there. Mainly, again, you can share audio, share video, and you obviously want to have those enabled, and they're default enabled. The one thing I would highly suggest that you deactivate is this draw on the whiteboard and files. I've seen that really affect the credibility of instructors in their Collaborate sessions, even in the old chat sessions we had in eCollege back in those days. Nothing affects your credibility worse than having 2-3 of your students doodling on the whiteboard, basically demonstrating that they're not tuned into what you're saying. So definitely get rid of that one, and then you're pretty well set to go on your settings. The next thing after that is you want to go to the upper left hand side, and when I put my cursor over the little tab on the left, which is just outlined in white lines, it says open session menu. So you want to click on that. Couple important things in here. To start, you want to start your recording. I would suggest just leaving it going. It's not as visible or easy to see and remember that it's there as it was in the old Collaborate. So I would get it going as soon as possible. Some people, it works out better for them to use their phone for the audio, so you have the ability to select that. The other thing down here is the Blackboard help. I'm not going to click through it that much. It gets you 2 or 3 screens. You have to go in there and you can kind of scroll down. You can report an issue, then that gives you another screen, and then from the support issue then you can finally get to either chat with the agent or you can call them. So it takes a couple clicks. It's not like right there to put you immediately in touch, but just kind of be patient and click through the things and then you'll be able to do it. Alright, so we've looked at the open session menu and it's going pretty good. We want to look down at the bottom. The next thing that we do is down the bottom you'll see a little check for people in the session. You'll see the microphone, which has a slash through it, which means it's not being broadcast, and the same thing with the video, has a slash and it's not being broadcast. The icon on the right is if you want to raise your hand, or if you want one of the students to raise their hand to indicate they have a question. So all you have to do is click on the icon for the mic and your audio is now going and active. Click on the share video and you can see that now your video sharing is going to be active. So those are kind of the basic things you need to get going. Go back to the bottom list on the lower right there. You can click on the chat button there and then you can monitor the chat. It's not quite as easy to see the chat and also see who's in the thing at the same time. There's a separate block for attendees down here, so you have one list for attendees, and then you have the chat box over there. As far as I've been able to find out, they don't separate into two different boxes. If I find a way, I'll let you know, but right now they're all stuck in this one box. Okay, so that's going to end this basic tour. This next one on sharing content, I'll take that up in my next video.